Oh, hello, hello. So today I have a dear friend with me, Dr. Gail, and I have had the honor and the privilege of being able to work with Gail over the last several months inside the Power Within. And so I wanted to just thank you so much for being here, Gail.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to be here.
Yay. So I'm wondering if you could just talk a little bit about some of the wins you've had from working inside the Power Within, the small group program.
So I feel more settled. Like I'm able to, we all have stress, but I'm able to manage the stressful situations better, being able to stay calm and remember that pause. So I feel more settled where I'm able to just stop, take a breath, and really get myself calm and then proceed instead of rushing in to react to something and respond immediately. I just am able to better be calm about it.
Wow. So the world didn't change at all. Like the world is still chaos and all the things are still happening and there's still all these complexities, but you're finding that you are actually feeling more settled and more grounded and more calm despite the world not changing at all, maybe even getting a little bit more chaotic.
Yeah, the world is, but yeah, I don't feel that way personally. I feel yeah. I mean, in fact, we had a stressful situation with a patient, a clinical situation, and I was able to be like, okay, take a deep breath, pause, and then, proceed. And it made a world of difference in how I was able to think through things and be able to manage the situation. So, yeah.
Yeah. So in an ultra super compressed, stressful situation, you were able to still have your higher intellect with you. And it's really because it sounds like you've been training your mind for this for months and months. It didn't happen by accident. It didn't happen just that day. You've been
Yeah.
training for this.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, and it takes time first to undo all the damage that's been done over the years and then to retrain yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me about some of the things that you're using, some of the tools that you're using. I'd love to know.
So I particularly love the 4-7-8 breath because it's helped me in so many situations. I'm claustrophobic, and so I travel for my clinical work, and I've had some struggles on planes with anxiety attacks. And so this has really helped me enormously. I do this beforehand, and while I'm waiting, I'm in line, once I'm on the plane. So it's helped me enormously. It's helped me sometimes when I can't get to sleep. I use that. I use I can't think of the word now. My
Your mantra.
mantra.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. My
Yeah.
mantra.
Yeah. And that's, yeah.
Yeah, I use that every day. And the nidras, and I also sometimes when I'm at my desk working, I'll go on the website and look at the other different meditations to do in the middle of the day. But I have my routine now where I'm in the morning I do this, and that's the first thing that I do. So it's made a huge difference. Yeah.
Incredible. So you figured out how to form new neural pathways and show up so differently for yourself and for everybody around you,
Yeah.
and so intentionally and so consciously making those decisions and creating the habits that then pay dividends outside of that. That is
Absolutely. Yeah.
incredible. That is
Yeah.
incredible. I love, love, love hearing about this. Thank you for sharing. Was there anything else that you wanted to share with us about just kind of how things have shifted for you?
Um, just really, again, it's just such a shift in feeling settled and not feeling, in knowing how to deal with when there's overwhelm. Like we all have always a minimum of half a dozen things that all have to get done at the same time. And just now being able to step back and be like, okay, first of all, look at the priorities and just like, okay, overwhelm isn't going to help. So do your breath work and then proceed. And so it's just helped my day flow better.
Yeah. And I can just tell a particular ease about you as well that I've just started to notice. And, and it can be difficult to grasp sometimes. It can be like this thing that, oh, somebody else can have that because their life is X, Y, and Z or whatever. But the truth is we can all live with a little bit more ease and a little bit more comfort. It doesn't mean that we're being lazy and we're not even actually stopping for that long. But when, like you said, it's that pause.
Yeah.
And when you've programmed your mind body system to be able to recognize, right, bring the awareness in and then say, actually, this is a moment where I just need to take a deep breath and then I'm going to do this next thing, then your patients are going to, benefit from that hugely. All the people that are working for me are going to benefit from that hugely. So this is like, this is so much fun to hear about and just to watch you just evolve and just become more and more of like this really joyful, you've always been joyful, but it just seems like it's more exuding to me every time I, kind of just have any contact with you. Like we couldn't stop laughing before we hit the record button. I don't even know how we got started, but yeah. And so it's just that like that joy infusion that you're able to just diffuse out. It's really fun to have.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to make a commitment to like a 12-week program or even just to like any kind of meditation, especially if you're not necessarily used to it. I wonder what some of the thoughts that you had to overcome were to say, yeah, I'm going to do this thing.
Yeah. So I think more than anything, this is definitely outside the box for physicians who are, science-based but I have been interested in like, I don't know if you want to call it alternative medicine or, different things outside of Western medicine. I have been interested in that for quite some time and, was initially a non-believer, but realized how wrong I was before. So I didn't have any hesitations there. My hesitation was as an introvert, like I like the one-on-one. And so, I was kind of like, oh, do I want to be in this group? I don't like to speak up. I don't like, but I've learned so much from the other women in this group that, that kind of went away right away.
It did. Yeah, I've heard you talk a lot in the group and you've contributed a lot. People learned a lot from your, just how you've been going through your journey as well. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that. You're right. Sometimes as an introvert, it can seem a little bit like, it might not be the thing for you. But one of the main things that we try to create in there is just a safe space. And, this idea of we're all here on this journey, we're on these different paths, but our destination is really the same. And a lot of what we do, it's sort of like on the intersection of spirituality and science, and so particularly with practices like Ayurveda, like now we're actually validating, science is actually validating so many of these things, which is so cool. And so it's almost a little bit like science has to catch up, right? These practices have been going on for 3, 4, or 5,000 years, and we've been studying them for maybe 20, 25 years. And so I feel the same about some of the meditation studies that are coming out. And I think, we're just on the cusp of learning so much more about it. And so your intuition, your draw, like your inner knowing is so powerful. You were like, yes, okay, like this is outside of like this particular box that I thought I was in or had to be in, but like, this is what I was drawn to. There was kind of a little pull there for you and you followed that little pull. That's powerful. That's really powerful. And then you said, I'm going to try it out. And that's a really open mind. That's a mindful way of living.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you struggle with things and realize, like, what's the quote about when you keep doing the same thing over and over?
The definition of
I don't remember the
insanity.
exact
Yeah,
words,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I realize with myself, okay, that's what I'm doing. There's got to be something different. And so, you start looking at other things and it's like, oh, I don't know, that's not evidence-based, like that, all that stuff we're trained to. And then you start to realize, well, but wait a second, maybe the evidence isn't there yet because we're not looking at it like we should be. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And, last night we had that discussion where I said, your evidence is that it's been passed down from, student to teacher for 3,000 years.
Yeah.
You don't have to believe it, but we were doing a certain meditation with a certain mudra or a hand gesture. And one thing I know for sure is it doesn't hurt.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And so when there's things that have no side effects, no risk involved, and potential huge upside, somebody like you who's open-minded and curious, you try it and you're like, oh my gosh, this breath work is like changing so many aspects of my life. And so, yeah, I think that's so cool about how you're showing up, just for yourself and the work that you're doing, and the evolution that you've had. I think that's fantastic. If somebody is considering coming into the power within, what would you say to them?
I would say, don't stop thinking and just do. Don't hesitate. Just do it.
Yeah. Just do
You won't
it.
be sorry.
Yeah, you won't be sorry.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. You heard Gail, you heard her words and her journey. And so I'm really, really grateful for just you taking the time out of your busy schedule today to talk to me and just to talk about the power within and your experience in there. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for all you do. So yeah, loved it.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
All right.